Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's episode of The Plight of Princes. Where last we left off, these miscreants were traveling northward, trying to find strange artifacts at the behest of the rulers of Neverwinter. On the way, they have stopped over in the small fishing village of Port Lost. Whilst they are there, after their first night, they encountered an attempted assault and kidnapping, which they intervened in the part of, and a friendly NPC was injured. Today, they begin their investigation. I'm not going down to check if he's dead. He's dead. Um,
If he dies, he dies.
the compost bin exists for a reason. So, where the party went to investigate with an alchemist as to what caused the poisons, the alchemical shot was assaulted by Molotov and destroyed. After that, they managed to capture and temporarily interrogate the assaultant. What would be the proper term for that again? Somebody who
Assailant.
assailant. But what's the term for when it's fire?
Arsonist.
Arsonist. Thank you.
Don't point to yourself, Carl.
Moments where Mike is muted. But probably would have been.
I was like, one of these fuckers is gonna get it, and I hope it's the English major. It's also a paramedic. After a brief interrogation with the arsonist, you discovered portions of names of certain things due to the raspy voice he had, and went back to the tavern you were staying in, the Gladiator and the Fishmonger, to rest. From there, you discovered that, well, you had attempted to extract you attempted to extract information from the innkeeper, but that did not work because she first was having none of your nonsense, and somebody tried to cast a spell within knife throwing distance of her. All of these did not end well. She evicted the person responsible from her bar, and outside, one of the party members, Posey, the warlock, did her best to spot somebody and then proceeded to track them using a hex spell, discovering that they had gone underneath the city. After a period of travel, they made their way through the sewers to avoiding a few magically inclined rooms that had been left about, which probably would have been very unhealthy for several people if they stepped in. They discovered a large room being guarded by several cultists, more or less thugs and other such miscreants, sea spawn, and certain Sawagans, including a priestess. There was also a human mage who, aside from not really remarking on the party's efforts, summoned a water weird for them to fight by sacrificing a cultist. He left the area, and the party now finds themselves surrounded by carnage and exhaustion. One of you has turned into a bear. I'm actually going to put your token back over here just so that we're aware that this is the Serena bear. Bear.
See if you can guess which one of us it was.
Definitely not me.
It was one of the warlocks, I'm sure.
Well-known warlock ability there.
Warlock, wizard. It's like duck, goose.
Is anybody here an arcane spellcaster? Half the party raise their hand.
Who doesn't have a sugar daddy? Half the party lowers their hand.
Sorry.
So, to bring you in, you are all exhausted from the fight. Several of you using abilities you might not have properly understood about yourselves beforehand. As you're all looking around, on top of the bridge you see Runara. She's currently shaking from it, and she had called upon some radiant energy from within, and you can just see flakes of her skin are just falling off. And she's not stopping. There's a look of panic in her face. What do you do?
Sorry.
Renara, that's so cool.
That's
Okay,
really
that's
new.
bad.
That's
I don't
really
know how to
new.
stop it.
Runara, make a wisdom saving throw. almost like he had a character sheet ready, like boop.
Kay is
Yeah.
well acquainted with the wisdom save.
He usually makes himself roll them. You panicking on the pain, and your body is. You can feel your skin almost peeling away. Portions of your skin and your fingers flaking off like dried mud. And there's this moment where you can just feel it in your core of your being. It's like a second heartbeat that's just thrumming more aggressively than your own. And you focus onto yourself, and that heartbeat just begins, that flame, more or less, that inner hearth of yourself, just begins to cool almost before it matches your own heartbeat and fades without really feeling it. There are portions of your skin which are missing currently. You basically look like you, across portions of your cheek, you have first-degree burns along your fingers as well.
Ouch.
But it stopped, right?
You managed to stop it. You're not entirely sure how you managed to stop it, but you did.
Oh.
All right, Runara.
You need to top up her right.
Well, that was new.
What was that?
I don't know.
Shush, 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 shush.
You might need to move closer to your mic, honey.
Yeah, is Stacey really quiet for anyone?
No,
Yeah.
I've had to switch to another mic because my other headset decided.
Ah,
to
it's
do
that time where
battery.
we all have to boost your volume up. I see.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Just to know.
Whatever you're doing at the moment is good.
Yeah, that voice.
Yeah. Turns out a set that's supposed to be a hands-free set doesn't actually have the mic close enough to the actual place where the sound comes out. But there we go.
Ah, that's typical, isn't it?
I think I might have something. Cool it for a sec. And
You do not appreciate the pun.
Lo will cast a healing word first level on Runar.
Okay.
Oh, thanks.
Since that seems to be getting taken care of, I've noticed a cage, and I'm going to go straight to my people.
Yes, your three maids, all of which, one of them has her jaw slightly dislocated. The other is, her arm is in more or less just slumped over herself. It's not in a sling, but she's not using it. But the other arm seems quite motionable, whatever. And the back one then has a big, more or less lump to the back of her head where she got a whack.
Oh, ooh.
And they are
What happened?
not responsive because they are all knocked out.
Oh dear.
Which one looks in the worst shape?
Medicine check.
Medicine.
Okay, you can immediately tell that one of your maids, the one whose arm seems to be just hanging loose, her arm is dislocated. And her forearm looks as if it's actually been broken as well. It will need a splint. Her shoulder will need to be relocated, and her arm needs a splint. And
So
we'll
she's the worst off.
Yeah, and just for the sake of ease, I'm just going to say that this little lady here is going to have the broken arm, and she looks the worst out of all of them. This one got hit in the back of the head, so she gets that icon, and I know the other one from it. There doesn't seem to be a way for this cage to open. There isn't a door, but there is no floor to it. The cage itself.
I cast life transference.
Okay, you move around to her side. You extend out your casting arm, shall we say, and you reach down to her, and you take see, you take. Is it half the damage you take, or that's how much damage you take,
Yep.
and she heals for twice that amount?
Yep.
So
Nice.
far more than that maid has in a hit dice, or will ever have in a hit dice. But she definitely, while she's not. The problem is that you have stopped like anything that would be fatal, but her arm does need time to recover due to the fact that the muscles are so sore.
Yep.
Even though like you're reaching through to her, like and you're grabbing onto like the shoulder that it's at, you can feel it just shoot up into place, but you can all see that like deep yellow bruising of it, and you can just hear the of the arm just coming back up into point.
In the meantime, I fall to a knee and start breathing heavily because that hurt a lot.
Yeah, I imagine it did do for the wizard at 5th
I
level.
have 2 hit points.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
Witting's like, God damn
I
it.
would say why would you do that, but that's a stupid question. I know why you would do that.
That's my peoples.
Yeah, but pretty much.
I'll cast all of my lay of hands.
Clear. For
I
20.
put my hand. Can I try to put my hand up and say no? Them first.
Well, I can take care of them. It's fine. But I'll put my hands on.
King?
King. Fucking dude, I'm out of it right now.
Nah, you're
Alright.
good, man. You're good. I know.
Which? Oh yeah, I'm level 4, so yeah, I do have
That's
20.
20. So you're like, oh god, the pain in my arm after I do the spell. You see a robot walk up behind you. Clear. Boom.
And then
You feel mostly recovered from what you just did to yourself.
no.
Thank you, Whittaker. We need to get them out.
Intact. Then I shall also do a cure wounds on the other one.
Onto one of the maids, the one with the one of the maids has what was it I said again? One of them has the back of her head and the other one has a dislocated jaw. So which
Yeah.
one are you aiming for? The one with the back of the head or the one with the jaw?
Jaw.
Okay. As you do that, the one that had her arm dislocated has not woken up. But when you like reach through, and it's difficult for you, you actually kind of have to get King to help you get her arm through the cage because the bars are so tight together. You can't reach your hand through because you big old mitts. So King actually has to, with their thinner arm, reach up and you cast a heal through. And whilst you're doing that, Kika, you've made your way over to the cage in the middle of.
She's a little multi-dimensional at the moment, but it'll wear off in about a minute.
Every now and again, she's just like popping in, popping out, popping in, popping.
I think you can end it as a. I think.
You can. I don't think so.
I have no
Maybe.
idea.
I'm
It's
pretty sure
not.
you
That's an
can.
I
excellent
don't know
point.
if it's a concentration. Kika's never cast this spell before.
It's. Oh, I can't remember. I think it is
The thing
concentration.
is, I remember a horror story about this where a player was abusing it and got royally punished. It doesn't have one, so no. For the next minute, you were just.
It's not concentration, so yeah, she's a bit multi-dimensional at the moment, but it's fine. I'd say she's used to it, to be honest.
No, it says you can dismiss it as an action.
Okay, because I imagine. Oh yeah, the story I had was it was from an item, so he wasn't able to deactivate it because.
I don't remember.
But,
But,
yeah, you can dismiss it, but it's not concentration.
All right, so yeah, you can miss it at your leisure.
Yeah. The purple ring, as a reminder, is the dispel magic, which detect magic, which Kika can just do for free at any point. So it's basically permanently up.
Okay. That's something that I forgot you had.
Warlocks!
Warlock.
Fucking voila.
So, yeah, so I've flown over and sort of perched on the edge of the bar of the cage, providing there's no magic.
Give me a sec. Let's see if I do this and I do this because it's something I didn't realize I forgot you had because I keep forgetting that you had that. I just need to make sure that this works in the way that I intended it because if it does, fantastic. If not, I'll have to just no, that doesn't work the way. I'll just say for sake of ease, and I will show you the symbol in a handout. As you float over and this is your first time getting this close, Kika, and you're looking towards the water. The water goes down about 10 foot, and at the bottom of it, you can see, and you see this because you have to float back a bit to look at it, but you actually see a symbol that has been traced in runed magic all the way across the ground and around it. It is transmutation in nature.
And that's at the in the bottom of the pool, is it?
Yes, and it basically takes up the entire, like say, it's the circle itself of the pool is the circle of the symbol, to give you a comparison. And you see,
Oh, I hate it.
just laced out across the entire and as you are there, you can just see, whilst those two, I'm just going to say this is happening simultaneously. Kika, you look towards the cage, and you can just see hands just like reaching up through the cage, because the cage itself is barely above the water level, shall I say? And just like pulling their head up through it, you can see a frilled head of this deep blue skinned creature. Make a history check for me.
Okay. History. 13.
Give me a second. See if I have. Fucking, I hate this. I can never find them when I'm. That's why, because it comes up as that. So, yeah, there they are. What you see is a figure. They have this kind of shell design on their shoulder of like a pauldron. Very simple seaweed mesh across the chest, basically taking up the top of the shoulders down to like the midriff. Their eyes are like that of a fish. They're when they open them up fully, they're actually quite wide, and they're more slanted to the side of the head than a normal humanoid's. Their fingers are webbed, and their skin is this very bright blue, but you can see this kind of like a tiger shark patterning to their skin all the way down. And as they're like there with their mouth, you can actually see that their mouth is filled with razor teeth. But they have these gills that are all the way down the side of the neck and at the cheeks as well, and these very simple carved from some sort of barnacle or something like that earpieces to the side of them, and they just look up to you and they just begin speaking in very broken common. Who are you?
Oh, Merfolk, Aquan, Primordial, Orin, sort of, hello?
You try to speak in Orin to her?
Yeah.
Good point. Let's make an intelligence check on her part, because it's a unique element of these creatures
all the
that
primordial ones mixed together.
They mix together, yes, but at the same time, it's like, how well can you? It's like understanding a dialect you've never heard.
Yes.
So let's see if she can. As you try to like speak in the like Orin in the airy form, it's look of confusion on their faces. It kind of like dive back into the water. Don't seem to understand Orin.
No.
But
Okay.
was trying to speak to you in common.
Okay. Help. Here to help.
You help leave?
Yeah.
You help
Yeah.
leave?
Yeah, I'll help you out.
It just begins like gripping at the cage around them.
Okay. Cage. Key. Lock. Door. Probably first.
Do you need
place-
help with a lock?
Yes.
From
Okay.
where you are, you don't see any key or lock mechanism, but this cage does look quite similar to the one that's on the top of it looks similar, and the kind of the way the bars are. It looks like it's a smaller equivalent to the one that's by King and Wittick, and there is no lock on it. but it is a cage that has a fake, like a no floor to it, more or less.
I wish
So it
Kayak
would-
was here. I don't know what to do.
I'll head over if he's floofing.
You will have to swim.
I would stay out the water. I think is maybe a good
Okay.
idea.
Maybe I will stay here.
I can bring you over. There's magic in this water, and I don't trust it.
I will try to lift the cage off of the mates.
Make an athletics check, you robot in disguise.
I also have powerful build.
Yes, which would give you. Does it increase your carry capacity?
Yeah, I'm one size larger.
Okay, so do you know the math of how that works out?
No. Hold on.
That's going to be your strength times 30, because it's doubled from your powerful build.
Strength score,
Your
not
strength score
modifier.
times 30.
So my strength score.
Yes.
Yes.
So whatever the total number is.
Yeah, not your
So
modifier. Yeah, not your
Okay.
modifier.
18 times 30.
Yeah.
That goes
540.
to 540. Yeah, you need to make an athletics check.
Fuck. Alright.
Nice.
There's a moment, Widdick, where you just like begin examining it. You kind of just like more or less pick King up and just move them out of the way as you do it. And there are like two sets of bars across,
Mhm.
going all the way around of it. And you're looking towards the lower one, and you just begin trying to grip it and lift it. And it barely, like, you begin like trying to put a lot of effort in. You can just begin steam. It's like people around him can just start seeing steam just puff out of all the sides of him, to the point where you just like drop it down. And then you get yourself around to the side that is between the wall and it. And you just put your back to the wall and put your feet up against it and just begin kicking and kicking and kicking. And it begins moving up before back down. It by yourself, you're not going to be able to do it that easily. It's you're judging there's probably like 800 pounds in the cage is like sheer bulk in itself. And having to tip that is going to take a lot.
Great.
You do cover most of it by yourself, but you will need help. And you have a party of twinks.
Yeah.
And one bear.
The bear could probably help, to be honest.
I'm just gonna for the bear.
Serenus, you're being called. I believe you can move
gallop
the bear
over, but
token.
I do that kind of thing, like you know when you see the films where bears are like, "Ugh," like you just watch the kind of like their body like move up and down the face, just kind of like drool going across my face, like
Like that slow-mo scene in Beethoven.
yeah. That's me running towards Woody, and I stop just in front of him.
I'll grab the rope out of my bag, tie it onto the cage, make a little harness on him. Alright, on my count.
Make a dex check to
Alright,
properly tie up the rope, shall we say. If anyone...
15.
I'll say it's a pretty good pseudo harness you have on him right now.
Alright, cool.
Daz, can you move me?
Should have control, but
Bear.
well, I was gonna probably have him going this way, and then I'll run over here to the other side, and then basically pull it up on that side.
I get you.
Yeah, so he's like leverage, so he pulls the top of that side and you push the bottom of the other side to
Yeah.
try and almost rotate it.
Cool. So King needs... Or King will
Oh yeah,
become...
yeah, King.
Or
King,
King will
back
become the
off.
size of one. King, are you there? Because you need to move.
Yep, I'm moving. Sorry.
Jeffy wasn't about to crush one of my favorite players by just not leaving the token out of the way, but
You have favorites?
duh. Are you fucking kidding me? My girlfriend's in the group. I don't even pretend.
This sounded so sad.
Don't worry, I'm gonna hit you all with tragic backstory. You're all gonna get a tap off me, baby. Right, so Bear and Robot come. Do you have access to the bear's character sheet, Serenus? You should do. It should be just
Yes, I
underneath.
do.
Yeah. So you should be able to make a strength check with the bear by just clicking on the number. And Wittick, you can do this as well. Make an athletics check because the bear isn't skilled in athletics, so it's just going to do that. Much better. And a 17 from bear. So that's so. You basically tie the rope to the high point on his side, and you grip the low side, and you just make a noise, and the bear just goes, "Brr, brr," and you just begin pulling together, and it begins teetering off the side of the wall, and as it does, the maids that are conscious just begin scooting out along your side, Wittick, taking their somewhat not so in it companion out with them.
Yeah.
And they do to there, and as they do, you begin just going, "That's it, that's good," and you let go. But the bear is a bear. It's, ding. The cage goes in the water. The bear goes in the water.
Oh, for God's sake!
The cage just entirely like keels over itself in the water, and the bear goes in with it.
All right. I will run over and cut the rope.
Yeah. You just go up and you just cut it off at the top. That's okay. That's easy enough to do. And I know your stats are good enough. You can just hop up because the actual cage itself that had the 3 maids in it was larger than the one that's in the water right now.
Mm-hmm.
And as such, it's a slight elevation on where you're standing to it. So you just have to like do a little bit of a hop up, but it's not difficult for you. You make your way over and you cut the ropes, and Bear is now free.
Okay. And then I'll go over here and then do another cure wounds on the other maid. That is
Yeah, so you fix the one that had the bang in the back of the head, and they are now all conscious.
Okay.
Thank you, Wittick.
Mm-hmm.
And I will start talking with them about how this kind of.
Essentially, to give you the short end of it, just so that we're not focused too long.
Yeah,
on
that's.
it took literally 30 seconds for you guys to be down the sewers for them to be jumped, and they all got knocked out in about 4 seconds.
My apologies, I have failed you.
You didn't fail us. But whilst that's happening, the merfolk is still in the cage with what bang. What do the and they like bang their knuckles against what do the because they can't really like see because the water keeps hitting them in the face because it's that kind of is that if anyone's been in a cage with water, and I know that might sound morbidly
Weirdly enough, no.
Shark diving.
Yeah, you know, there was just this one summer camp, you know?
Them swimming lessons were really rough.
It was literally sink or swim.
Sink or swim!
Yep. And they wonder where
It's
my
like when they give you
aquaphobia
life
comes from.
training when you just have to jump in with all your clothes on and you're like, what part of this is teaching?
Basically like the water keeps hitting, so like they're trying to see, but also especially with the wave of water that just smashes up against them and the cage from the other cage being injected along with
I don't know how to get this cage open. There's a few more of us here who might be able to help.
help please, help. And just you begin hearing their voice is very it's like they're trying to mimic common words they've heard before that they kind of understand what they mean.
Mm-hmm.
Can I attempt to try and push over the cage?
As a bear, sure, you can
Yes.
try. You're going to be at disadvantage in the water.
That's okay. Strength?
Yeah, this will be a strength check.
I mean, Kika's not very strong, but she'll try to help in whatever way she can.
That is a nat. You were trying to like begin pushing your own momentum with it, but you just begin slipping on the sludges at the bottom, and you in water face plant.
Okay.
But you don't manage to shove the thing.
Well, whatever magic's in there apparently isn't doing anything, so that's good.
Oh,
Magic? Oh, Rugi.
actually,
Is there any...
being that I am one with storm giants in a way, would I know that merfolk speak primordial or any sort of elemental?
From your time with Roman, you will know that other beings of the water, akin to storm giants, but merfolk you're aware of sea elves as well. They
Right.
usually speak what's called
Okay.
Usually you had somebody else speaking that for you. And sorry, Kay, you were trying to say something?
Yeah, just because I've just been sitting there while this has all been happening. Can I try and fish the corpse out of the one in the water with my spiritual weapon? Just try and fish it closer to me so I can grab it. Just
And scoop.
Come on, spiritual weapon.
Make
Radiant.
a wisdom check to use the weapon for not attacking.
sure.
Because it's not a true weapon.
Yeah, that's
But-
cool.
Well, a leg comes out.
Lovely.
Oh dear. Okay, I give up on that, and spiritual weapon will go away.
I see you doing that, and while you're talking, I just cast Mage Hand. Just while I'm talking to the girls.
Yeah, you're not going to lift the 200-pound Soagin with the 10-pound carrying mage hand.
I thought I was just going to shove it along the water, but okay.
Nah, you wouldn't be able to shove it.
Fair
It's very specifically, mage hand can only handle that much. Because
All right.
otherwise people would use it for this guy.
Is there anything like along the
In which
walls?
case, is that rope still on the cage?
I know it's been cut. And it's kind of still around the bear, but Kika,
Is there anything along the walls or ceiling?
make an investigation.
5.
Thing is, every time you begin looking around, that symbol is so apparent in the water. It's like a lamp, in that you can't really take your eyes off it or focus away from it because you're trying to look, but it's that kind of just out of the corner of your eye thing constantly because of how much it takes up of the room. There is no other magic because that would be very, very obvious to you, but you're not really seeing any kind of mechanism in the dark at the very top of it, or you're not seeing any kind of like symbols or anything like that. Classic, okay?
Yeah, just gonna stop
I'm trying to think how
What's
to
the cage made from?
It's made from what looks like probably beforehand a very decent quality iron, but now is quite
It's really rusted.
Yeah.
Okay.
should be quite weak if it's gone rusty.
Yeah.
Weak compared to
normal iron.
Mhm.
When it just walks up.
Oh, that's actually what I was about to do. I was about to fucking jump from this one over here.
As you like leap and jump, the merfolk just dives immediately to the very, very bottom of the cage, and you can just see like, you know, that like kind of reflective thing you can see in like murky water, and it's just, you can barely see them at the bottom of the cage, curled to the corner. So are you gonna
I'll
try and
say,
bend
I'll
the-
say in primordial. Don't worry, friend. I am here to help. If they can hear me under the water.
That's what you just basically, that's what they heard, more or less.
And then I'm gonna try to bend the top of the cage.
Make an athletics check.
Fuck!
Ah!
Don't worry, we're here to help. You blow a gasket.
If the girls are fit to move, I might send them above ground. I doubt they'll be attacked again.
So you're going to tell them to run back the way you came?
Yep, I'll escort them at least as far as the entrance, and in fact, I'll stand at the entrance with them because we only just popped in the sewer, and wait until we can.
You're about 10
hold on
minutes.
guard.
You were about 10.
Yeah, we've
20
been walking for a
minutes
little
in the
bit
sewers.
before we.
Yeah.
You've been in the sewers for a while, man.
I'll go around the corner and at least point them in the right direction.
Go that way. And the first manhole they find themselves going to, they will attempt to get up and out of. So they'll probably try to do it.
Witzek, this might be a bit risky, but I mean, I guess with this person we don't have to like move the entire cage. I guess if we just like lever it enough, they can swim under the gap. So maybe if we like try to tilt the cage by putting all of our weight at one end, and like I don't know. I mean, because we only need to make like a little gap, and maybe she can squeeze through it rather than having to lift the entire thing. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. I'll kind of motion for the bear to come back over, just to swim over, so I can
He's just been
untie
like, you know, wading in the water kind of thing.
That way I can take my freaking rope back off, tie it on the one end, and then basically kind of lean.
Yeah.
Use it as a levering.
Yeah, I get you. So like, the rope's on this end, you're on this end,
Yeah.
pulling with it.
Pulling, lever,
Okay.
wise.
So is both the bear and the bird about to help you, or just the one?
I'll try to like. In mirroring what they've done, if those two are pulling one way, I'm going to be on like the other end, sort of helping the other way, and I'll also cast like a mage hand under the water to just sort of be like, you know, gesture, trying to get under the gap that we're making to try and signal what it is we're trying to do.
Okay.
And
So,
very poorly try to lift at the other end.
Okay, so
How long is the rope?
I think it's just a standard 50-foot rope.
Because if it's long enough, we can. Those of us on the edge can have one end, and we can also help.
That was what I was about to say. Is I was going to throw an inspiration towards Wittig, you know, to make the relevant check if need be.
you could do. You could inspire to help. The rope could be thrown as well, and lever it towards the side with your.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it
Whatever.
probably lost. Well, probably like a foot whenever I cut it.
Okay, so I'm going to say that with everyone assisting for that, the DC will be lower, and Wittig can make a athletic check with advantage.
Cool.
And with
A D6 inspiration.
So DC, the internet's been a bit funky here lately.
Yes. There are
Hang on.
numbers.
Hang on, actually,
Honey,
um,
natural 20, you're fine.
I'm just triple checking this last paragraph on Bardic Inspiration. I'm just asking for a DM's in.
Honey, you can worry about it later. You don't need to worry about it right now.
No, your Bardic Inspiration die changes when you reach certain levels in this class.
Then
Yeah.
go to the front of your bard thing and you'll see where the dice increases. You shouldn't have had an increase
Yeah,
yet.
you're only like 2
Yeah.
levels into Bard. It's like
I-
level 5 or something
yeah.
that
I
changes.
just wanted to triple check that.
You won't have to worry about it for now. D8 is a whiles away for you, and it doesn't matter because he rolled a natural 20.
Yeah, I'm just checking. Don't worry.
You can check on a break.
Alright.
So,
Mike is so quiet.
yes, your mic's quiet again, so fix that too.
Sorry.
Bang. So, everyone begins pulling and pushing together in unison. People on the shore that, out of all of you, I think Posey's probably the strongest one.
Ah,
If you were about to imply that Runara was weaker than me, I would have lost it.
Hold on, what's your strength, Posey?
Whatever yours is, it's higher.
I mean, I only got +1, so.
I also only have a +1.
yay!
Yeah.
+1 crew!
Let me fucking over here. Fucking
This
You
is
have a
plus
higher
one
strength
crew.
score than most
How
of
about the
them.
-1 crew, guys?
Hey.
-1 strength. Hey, hey, no.
That's why
Oh,
you're a bear.
Yeah, exactly.
This is unfortunate because
I mean,
all
it's
of our
there
puzzles
on
in the
+4,
future are going to
so-
be strength based. We won't be
Yeah,
able to do
I'm gonna be
that.
sitting here
Abuse the fuck out of that.
It's gonna be like, ah!
I am, as in the last part of the campaign, 0.
So, You all begin pulling together with a bit of effort, mage hands included, every little bit. Widdick, you have that moment of like pulling from the top, and you just have that like slight slip, and there's a frustration to you. Sparks begin flying, and you just every part of you just begins like spinning and building up momentum, and you just jump into the water, grip to the underneath of it, and launch the cage up. And it literally just goes up out of the water. The people on the shore, you fall backwards as the pull. It's one of those things of pulling on a rope and all the tension goes and you go with it.
Well, the
Kika,
person using mage hand doesn't.
yeah, no, but anybody who is also helping but also had a mage hand. The merfolk, let's see, so that'll move you to there. No, not the cage. We'll move you to there. Move the cage there. Don't to back you, bitch. There we go. And the merfolk swims out underneath it during that time.
If anyone falls back near me, I will attempt to do a very gentlemanly catch.
You've got to worry about trying to catch yourself.
Well, I wasn't pulling.
Fair enough. I tell you what, make a performance check to catch Posey and Renara.
Ladies.
I'm fine. I've got the
Yeah,
water.
just-
Renara, you gotta catch
Ladies.
it. Otherwise you jump in the water.
That'll do.
Hey.
You both had that moment where you're both pulling together, and the rope goes, and you're both like yanking at full force, and you start going this way with it, and as you both fall, just to either side of you, there's just like an arm reaches out, and he just catches you both. But one of you is not a light person, the other one is in armor, and it's like, haha, ho, ho. Of regret as he just gingerly lowers you down.
It was like, this arm is good. Oh god, this arm. Oh god,
Regret!
regret. Oh god.
Hey, geez. Okay.
Catching blue in one arm and catching anyone else in the other one. It's like, ah, fuck!
Okay, cool.
So,
Lo is a charming man. I never said he was a smart man.
That much is clear.
catching each other, the merfolk swims out and begins pulling themselves up out of the water and just does a little bit of a swim in the water now free. You can't really tell how long they've probably been, but everyone at the shore can just see now this of the figure, because you probably couldn't see them properly from the shoreline, but you can just see that figure just moving about the water now, just happily swimming.
I'll swim out of the friggin' water.
You just Terminator didn't.
I just kind of. Oh, God.
With a very wet bear.
Right. And then I'll kind of try to get the attention of the merfolk and kind of start trying to talk to her in primordial.
Yeah, Kika's hovering around as well, sort of waiting for her to want to speak.
As you all just begin gathering at the shoreline, you just see them just begin lowering themselves back down to about just the head above the water. Thanking yes.
Yes.
Can you understand me as I speak in primordial?
It just looks to you for a minute as you're talking. It's bitches.
Very, very little. Still learning this whole primordial thing. Just I try to mess with the voice box a little bit, see if I can just get it.
I tell you what, make a intelligence to try to focus more on speaking the dialect.
Oh, that
Fucking Widdick doing well.
Nice.
I had it on advantage by accident.
No, that's fine. You were still 17.
No,
I always
17.
whenever you roll, I always count the first one.
Yeah.
So you begin speaking, and you're just you're getting bits of words, and you can understand what words probably apply more from them because they're talking, but sometimes they're just their voice almost turns into a watery gurgle when they're talking, and that's probably them speaking Orin more. And you begin. Am I saying that right?
Aquan.
Aquan.
Sorry.
Orin's the one that the
Orin.
word. That's what
Orin.
we speak.
Yeah.
They're all
Yeah.
much of a muchness. It's English, but it's Scottish, but it's Irish, but it's
Yeah.
And talk to any one of them, and you'll definitely understand the difference. Um,
You're right,
so it just begins like speaking, and I'll say you can get like most of a sentence out of them in Aquan.
Okay.
And you basically serve as party translator. Why are you here?
We are searching for the people that were causing a lot of trouble down here.
They are the Foul Springs, and just like points further down the tunnel where the mage had walked. Polluting water, bad springs. Soccer Thol, fuck off!
Clearly this is not the time.
We all go for a different water bitch and go, fuck off!
Brief interlude while the phone rings.
He's just waiting for it.
Alright, it's because it's like literally right there. But alright,
That happened totally in character, by the way. Because I can totally allow.
yeah, he's trying to compose, like, okay. How long have you been in that cage?
I don't know. Long time, but I've not seen Moon for. Last time I saw Moon, it was Wayne. And the Moon is basically give you an idea. From that, you guys
Posey
know
would
the Moon
know.
is basically it's literally
Yeah,
probably
because
a full.
she'll tell me that. And
This
go,
is on the other end of a lunar cycle, more or less, to where.
Nearly a month.
It's what? Yeah, that's what I said.
Hey, hey Posey, when was the moon waning?
A couple weeks ago.
Ah, right. Well, she's been stuck in that cage for that long.
Ooh, that's not fun.
Right.
You can just like see as they just begin like their fingers are up on the side of the bank, more or less, looking towards you guys. They are gaunt as king. Their
Oh.
neck is sallow.
That's not
Their neck is sallow. Their jaws are thinned, and you can where they're probably like is the human equivalent to them on their body is where there is a lot of gauntness, but the like legs as well, like well not leg, but the fin of them, their tail is very, 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 very malnourished right now. Just very struggled to maintain themselves.
Kika will have a rummage around in her bags and her rations.
I'll literally grab ration out of my
Yeah.
bag,
Cause
like literally because I don't need it. So I'll be like, here, eat this, just not too quickly, otherwise
I
you'll.
might have some
be
fish
too-
jerky somewhere.
Yeah, I guess I am.
You're right, Daz.
No, that was her reaction to you. Was just
Fish jerky.
Fish!
Fuck.
Don't mention the F word.
what do you think merfolk eat?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like their favorite food.
It's like saying to one of you is like, oh look, there's some chicken. Chicken.
No, but I interpreted that. Never mind. Overthinking. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, offer her some food.
They have like the very small amount of like biscuit and ration is because it's a very like a tough biscuity kind of ration. It's just like trying to chew it, and their teeth are razored, like there are sharpened teeth in there, and they just begin like having to break it up a little bit and like struggling crunching it into their mouth. And the moment they see like a bit of like fish jerky and there's that whiff in the air as it's close by, just look up to you and just looking between you and it like that kind of cat that's about to swipe your food. Just and just
Mental
Choose
note
it.
to go fishing after this.
begins gorging on whatever they can be provided. Names.
I'll start with myself. I am Wittick, the Reforged.
Tick.
And
Yes.
I'm Kika.
Hika. They are, as anyone who would like introduce themselves, they are pointing and saying your name. And
Basically, I say, okay, remember.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is King.
King.
How are we gonna get them out of here?
Girls are muted.
Oh.
Doesn't matter. Carry on.
Right. That is the question. Because we still have to figure out where this cultist leader went.
I presume as much these sewers head over towards sea, right?
You would think so, but that's probably gonna be like further in the way we're going where danger is. Because we've just come from the city. It might not be safe to go that way just yet.
It might be best that we take our friend here to the surface, where she may be safe and get a good.
There's a slight problem with that though.
Show
She has no
show you
legs.
the
She has
tail.
no legs.
I mean, I can carry her, but she also, I'm pretty sure, needs to remain in water for a good.
Submerges up to the neck again.
Could you
Yeah.
inquire with her if she is capable of surviving in salt water? As you will discover the town is to the side of the sea.
Well,
I assume that's where they
That's
got
what
them
we're
from.
that's what we're saying. The sewer
most
the sewer
merfolk-
leads to the sea.
And you just see as like they're talking to you guys, they're just like reaching into like the side of their gill, and it's like coughing up phlegm more or less. They're just taking black gunk and they're just throwing it out onto the thing in front of them.
let's see.
I think taking her to the above ocean may be better. We would require water to sustain her for the trip, though.
Kika's gonna come over here and like try to gesture to her to like come out of the pool bit and be more sort of over here in the
I
streams.
mean, that's 5 foot, yeah.
Yeah, just sort of like
Yeah.
maybe
There's just-
come over here.
There's just enough water, and basically, once they're into that equivalent, their body is more or less just like it's like 3 to 4 foot of water, really. So they're just like barely, and they're maybe like 10 foot long.
Oof.
But when they like coil around themselves, they're like not so much coil, but when they like kind of encompass one space, it's is more like a person's size. But because the tail, they're essentially their fish part. Their tail is not like a naga in that, or a yanti in that it can support their weight. It's very much so like more like
Their
a
mode of
centaur.
transportation.
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't trust that place.
Well,
What way is the water flowing in just the shallow part of the sewer?
Shallow
Is
part of the sewer, it's
Back
next
the way we
to
came, or
shallow part of the sewer. It's not really noticeable. Make a nature check.
I'll just drop like a stick in it and see what way the stick goes. I'll go guidance myself. That's a 14.
You drop the stick in, and you just watch it begins flowing this way.
Thought as
Yeah.
much.
Okay, well, do we want to try and follow this out to the ocean and see if we can get her to safety?
I think we kind of have to.
yeah.
I don't feel comfortable leaving them alone. That's it.
Can't hear you.
I don't feel comfortable in leaving them alone like this
Okay.
anyway. If they've been in there for as long as Posey says, the sooner we get them into cleaner water or anything that isn't poisoned, the better, really.
Well, let's work on that. I don't want to get out of here.
Yes, Kika.
While we were like doing our stuff and investigating the room, did we get a better look of what's down here? Because we saw the dude walk away down here. Because that's currently
Just
obscured.
a moment. I will. So you can see that there is 2 points, one of which is at a slightly higher ridge than another one. And there is some like small stonework there. A small pile of rubbish at the corner, and what looks like one doorway and a space that leads on beyond it. So there's one doorway somewhere around here, and something that leads to this side.
Right, okay. And just inform the group that that's how it splits.
Mhm.
It's likely that these two paths possibly meet up.
Well, I will kind of walk past everybody and go toward the bottom of the circle, or the room, just to basically kind of look in this area a bit more.
Point to me where you're going now.
Over here. Kind of to look in here more.
As I notice that, I'm gonna start walking that direction as well. Get up the ledge and then turn back to turn out wild shape as I go.
Yeah.
You two be careful.
Let's see. Can I get a perception check from both of you?
Yep. No. Sure.
So you begin poking your head around, and you begin from where you are feeling a lot of warmth. Even Wittick, you're feeling it. It's more like there's a heat tunnel down this way, if that were to make sense. Like there might be an end of a fire or something by the end of this. And as you are there, you just begin hearing what I can only really describe as like a spear tip hitting ground, but multiple. Maybe like 4 of them. As you're moving around that area and you're trying to keep an eye and look about, making your ways together. So I'm just going to clear up this area real quick. And you're looking around and you don't see anything around the ground or anything like that, but you do hear like that kind of sound.
I'll tell Cernus to me and him are gonna back off for right now, wait for everybody else. But that was mainly what I wanted to see, is if it looked up over here, which it doesn't.
Well, it doesn't from that side, but you do see that there is a doorway
Another
this
door.
way. Yeah. And a doorway there.
Alright.
I'm going to the. So is there a door at that
There's a door here and a
there's
door
a
here.
there? Can I just go over and just put my ear against it, see if I can hear
Oh,
anything?
there's a doorway.
Well, it's a doorway.
Yeah, there's not an actual
There's
door.
no actual
I thought it
door.
was a door. Never mind.
Yeah.
No, I follow it. I just
Yeah,
follow
door-
it.
doorway.
Yeah, I'd pull back.
Alright. Yeah. Come back over here. Okay, well, doesn't directly yet link up over here on this side. However, there is a weird clicking noise.
I think it's better that we return.
The DM is making noises.
Let's just go the other way, maybe then.
I think we'll start heading and she can swim along the stream for the time being.
Yeah, we want to follow the
In the
water.
meantime, while we're walking, where does she have her gills?
She has gills at her cheeks and gills around her neck.
Alright.
You can't really see, like, with the murkiness of the water, unfortunately. It's like seeing a bird fly through smog and, like, you're like, ooh, that's not fun.
Yeah. Does anyone have a leather top or anything I could borrow to make a makeshift helm full of water, if you will? For when we get to the surface.
I mean,
I
we're
will
going.
ask as well. Move yourselves to where you are right now on the map. I'm just going to get rid of tokens that don't need to be.
I mean,
Be gone,
we're following the stream down, so we won't need to get to the surface, right?
Well, hopefully this will just lead straight to the ocean and she can get out that way.
I mean, we've got to go that way
Why are we
to get.
gonna go that way?
Because
to
that's the way
take
the
her
water's
out
flowing.
the ocean. To follow it to the ocean, to let her out into the ocean. Otherwise, we've got to carry her in the stream.
Is that well advised?
Do you want to carry this mermaid in the street?
I mean, we're not exactly close to the ocean. It could be like, you know, a hour walk to get to the sea. I don't know if that's going to be healthy for her.
Oh, we've done 10 minutes walk from where we were in the city. It can't be that far to the ocean.
That was that.
Does. I will say from your travels last night, it'll probably take about 20-30 minutes to reach the ocean. But there are times where she's standing and she's like, or not standing, but she's kind of like pulling herself out of the water in a way that her neck is exposed and she doesn't seem to struggle with it, and she does seem to be able to speak. You just might have more of the issues of like a fish, where just the weight of their body on top of themselves could probably do some damage if they were trying to drag themselves.
Yeah, no.
Well,
She would definitely be carried.
Yeah, definitely have her on my back. But it becomes a case of making a comfortable way to have her on my back for her, less than me, because I don't really give two fucks.
I suppose
Well,
they must have brought her here somehow. Maybe if we go deeper in, we might find like something that they use to carry loads of water in.
My concern is that we would also run into their camp.
Well, their camp is probably the way that wizard guy went. We're not going that way.
I'm worried about that, but I just feel like going the other way is like counterintuitive because it's going away from where she needs to go, really.
I think we follow the stream.
As you wish. Please translate to her that the first sign of trouble she should swim in the other direction.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you that.
As you begin conveying this, as you all stood about yourselves where you are right now, King, you might want to, because I know you're having a conversation, move back to the side. You all are just talking amongst yourselves and begin to have these discussions. And Runara, Serenus, and King, you're the first to notice a small splash in the pool of water behind you. And you turn around and there's nothing in the water. But then you look to the top of the ceiling. And that's where we're going to take a break.
Aw, man.
God damn it.
That was one of those moments where I could see you were making noises, but I couldn't comment on it. Because I'm like, Poseyman.
I wasn't hearing noises. If it was that clicking noise, I thought that was mic static, which is why I ignored it.
No, he was just tapping on his
no,
desk
I
and
didn't.
parts of the wall.
That wasn't really being picked up.
Yeah.
No, I got it.
I didn't hear it. Oh, snack time.
That's even the better, because only some of you heard it. It's important.
I'm gonna go get snacks.
We'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Good, because we're unmuted and we're back.
Welcome back. So,
Professional streaming.
I'm going to say this would have been Runara, this would have been King and Serenus, because you all have either the same or very high wisdom. You hear the plebbles in the pool that is out to the far side of you guys, and you look out towards it. You don't see anything in the water. And then you have that growing feeling in your gut as you just begin looking up, and the ceiling is about 40 foot. It like domes up to about 20 foot above you at the very like highest point, and there you can see, clung upside down, these bizarre, almost insectoid like creatures. They have the bodies of these really bizarre insects, bugs, with these 4 pincers for legs that are just like clung, stabbed into the ceiling above you all. Their neck is elongated like the serpentine monster from Dark Souls, and they're open their mouth. You can just see that they have these 2 like hooked appendages to the front, almost like a malformed reflection of tusks, and these lines and lines down the back of their throat of needle sharp teeth. You see one of them who is disturbed this. It's a large creature. Well, large for the fact it's nearly the size of a horse, but it looks to you, and its eyes are like these kind of black, but still have a bit of reflection from any light that's in the room or from you guys. And then you can see how many? 6 or 5 different sets of eyes opening up from above there as well, looking towards you. It's at the top of the initiative, not any of you fuckers. And it is going to let out a large as it does. It is going to dash all the way down the ceiling towards. It's not going to actually need to dash because it just dashes 20 foot and then drops from the height and just lands down in front of you between Posey and Runara. That's what you see.
Oh, I hate it.
What a good time for me to have my enchantment on my crossbow.
It's so beautiful.
Let's see. Now, where is the adult Kruthik? Let's see. Multi-attack.
Wait, there's an adult one. Well, that is the adult one.
That is the adult one. No, the entire dungeon is the adult one.
Oh, we're in its mouth. Run.
So it's going to make 2 stab attacks towards the. Let's see. It's going to aim them towards Posey because she looks tense. Ooh. Ooh, shit. So you just watch as 2 of the appendages rises up and jabs towards you, and you take a total of 9 piercing damage. And it's just there like, yeah. And as it does that, you can just hear chittering from the ceiling above it. All these multitudes of things. And King, you can hear it as well. Another resounding volume of them from this direction. Runara, you're up first.
Oh, jeez. Fuck me. I'll just do a Sacred Flame on the one next to me.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
It succeeds.
Shit.
You watch as like its large form, which seems almost like bulky in comparison. You throw it down. It has that preternatural insectoid-like speed where something attempts for it and it just shunks entirely out of the way of it. So you do not hurt it. Lo, it is your go.
Okay. I will.
Move closer to the mic.
Sorry, I'm trying to work with what I've got here.
It's cool.
I am going to cast Dissonant Whispers on that creature.
Ooh, nice. Use this reaction to run away. I like it. Natural 1.
Wonderful.
Roll your 3d6. Ooh, that's a nice 12. Yeah, that hurts. You just watch as like blood begins pouring out of its like eyes, and where like it has these small. It doesn't have ears, but the holes where sound would resonate in, just like blood begins pouring out. Like, and you did that, so it now must use its reaction to immediately move as far as its speed will allow it, which for it is 40 speed of climbing. So it's going to climb up to about there. And that's as far as it can get.
There should be a couple of attacks of opportunity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fourth movement. I remember.
It must use its reaction to move. So it's using its time to move.
Yeah.
I don't have a melee weapon in my hand, so I can't.
I can.
Stab.
I still have a sword.
Use your sword of swordiness.
Sword.
I use my sword. No
Attempt.
enchantment. Because I transferred it
enchant-
like a dumbass.
Hey man, that happens. It's almost like you're
It's
like,
a 9, never mind.
I have to check. Oh yeah, never mind. Hello, so you did that. Dissonant whisper. And you can begin hearing the chattering of a lot of them coming towards you quickly.
I'm gonna say as a free action. I think it's time we run.
Oh shit, the merfolk. I forgot to put her on. Whoops. I'll just roll for her. Ooh, fucking fireflies kicked on her. Okay, well, she's gonna get ahead of some of them. Lo, it is your go. What do you do?
No, I just took my turn because I.
Yeah, you didn't.
You did this in whispers, but are you going to move? Bonus action?
I'm probably going to start moving toward. Well, do you know what? No. That's my action. That's my turn.
So you're not going to take any movement. Okay.
No.
Serenus.
Right. So are they all still on the ceiling? Like, can I see?
Well, I tell you, you may as well see them. Well, the ones you can see that are in this room, at least.
Would you just say DM?
Yeah, well, look to your right, fucker. Behold, they're all in the ceiling up. They're all in the ceiling above you, about 20 foot up. So they're 45 away and 20. They would only be 45 feet away from you, especially if they dashed really fast. So
I'm going to throw a walloping stone at them.
okay, which one are you aiming at with your stone or walloping?
The one that's closest.
That would be Deast Boy. What is the
Okay.
range on your stone?
120 feet.
You're fine then.
Because
Magic
spell
stone.
sniper doubles it.
Oh, spell sniper. Yeah. Well, you're using a magic stone then, but you're using one of your walloping stones for it. So I got it. I got you. Throw that rock. So I threw a rock at it. That does not hit.
Shit.
You watch as you throw out the rock, and it just tings up against the wall as it just like dodge out of the way. Like, what do you do? Got your bonus, got your movement.
I'm gonna run.
Sounds like a really good idea.
I can only
30.
do use it.
You can get to about there. On my screen, there's still a water weird there, so I'm just gonna yeet that corpse. Okay, so bonus action, anything or
Nope.
Okay. Winnick! Everything's far away!
I'm going to cast. No. Actually, I'll probably-
Angry paladin noises.
I'm a sorcerer!
No, more so because we are really frightening to get the fuck out of here.
Mm.
So I'm going to cast Blade Ward on myself.
That is your action to do so. That is a clever thing.
Yep. And I'm going to start running this way.
Okay. You get to there.
Yeah, I know.
You move to there, and that is your turn. At the end of your turn, on initiative. All them boys.
What?
They're going to get to there, and this one has to dash. This one has to dash. And essentially, like, even dropping down from the ceiling from where they were, the alpha, the adult, was closer. But these ones have to dash, but they are now in mid. Yeah, they're just going to soak up all that space so they can get their grubby little mitts. And that's their turn of running at you. Posey. I have changed your plans by using fast boys.
Well, fuck. That changes things. There goes the running plan. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try and shit. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna move around here just to get flanking in the hopes of
Flank
getting
is a
rid of
flank,
this
is it?
Stormbreaker. Just wanted to get out of the way. I'm gonna take
That is
this.
just a hit.
Just hit. Okay.
Just.
Much better.
Well, they both hit, so. It's still alive on the first hit. And it's not on the second.
Okay, thank God they're not. They're not super hearty. I'm gonna move
No,
up
but they are
to
fast
where
and they
it's-
have a decent armor class.
Yeah. I'm just gonna
it-
put
yeah.
a hand on the back of her arm and just be like, "We need to leave."
Yeah, you're telling me.
Runar, you have that moment where that one leaps down and it was like lunging back to get you, and as it was like trying to streak out its hand and have its teeth ready to bite, one of the pincers gets cut off and then it just gets sank the blade halfway through its neck. It's like slumps down. And then she says that to you.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Time to get out of here, and that's all I can do.
Okay. Let's see. Did I leave one in here? Oh, I did. Hang on, there's a sea spawn corpse there, and the sea spawn got put in later, so I actually have to. Okay, it's going to be now the turn of your wonderful little friend Kaylana, and she is going to, aside from panic, what can she do? Hang on. Oh shit! Where's my? This would be quicker. Sorry, folks. Just a sec. Just a sec. Just a sec. Just a sec. Okay, so what she is going to do is, they're going to attempt to, because they're in a waterway, they're going to use their bonus action to disengage, and they're going to move to, that's as far as they can get, and you just watch as like one of their little earring pieces just begins lighting up as they just remove it away and just begin murmuring something in Aquan into it, and is going to attempt, because now they actually have a chance to cast a guiding bolt. And rolled a 1. Oh well. Low level cleric, she's trying her best, but she's very, very terrified and very malnourished.
Yeah.
That is her turn. At the end of her turn, that chittering sound is heard again. Oh, they landed exactly where they need to be on the. That's nice of them.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So, 3 of them are going. Well, 2 of them can make an attack against you, Wittick. Only one of them. Yeah, only 2 of them did. The others had to die. So they are smelling blood.
I don't bleed.
Well, they're smelling it off all your friends, and they're not smart enough creatures. So I'm still going to stab you twice. Hey,
Stab you twice just for being a smartass.
So the young ones can only attack you once each, but that is the first stab is for 7 pierce.
With resistance?
Do you have resistance?
I have Blade Ward on.
Oh, that's right. Excuse me. With resistance, that goes down to a 3 and a 2 then. So you take 5 total.
Fuck!
Blade, very good choice. Well,
That was a big fuck.
Giga.
This didn't go as planned.
No, it didn't.
Yep,
I had a
say that
timer.
again.
I had a timer in my head, and
Okay.
well, on the plus side, Serenus and Wittick didn't get caught alone.
Yeah, glad you two came back. Okay, target creatures within 20 feet of a point, which is all of these little shits.
Are they creatures of your choosing?
Think so. Hang on.
Because there's a difference between hitting everything in a zone and hitting creatures you choose in a zone.
Okay, creatures within 20 feet of a point you choose within range.
Mm-hmm. The point you choose, referring to the point is what you choose, not the creature.
Let me read it again.
Which spell?
Fireball.
Yes, I have fireball.
That's where you find out she's an
I
infernal
know what
warlock.
you're doing. I know what you're doing. It will just, it will just hit everything, but only continue with what you're saying, Blue, because then it will make more sense what you are doing and how the spell functions.
Well, no, because that's a fair point, because I probably won't use it in that case, so... Fuck it.
Still tell us what it is.
How much health are people on, actually? Because that could be important. Yeah, okay, I'll leave that.
34, because I was in a bear fall.
Okay, I'm gonna
I
leave.
think Wittick's suffering.
Oh, can you not specify targets? I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm just trying to read through the word.
Are you looking at sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got people who are lower health.
I'm immune to that.
You're immune
I'm
to sleep?
immune.
Yeah,
to that.
you're I know you're immune to it.
Based on the amount of damage done, I've got more health than these things, and I think I'm probably the next lowest.
That's what I'm trying to.
If those two are immune to it, it's definitely worth the shot.
That's what I'm trying to calculate, because the thing took damage and it wasn't a lot of damage.
It took 13. It took 12 damage, and I'm in the mid-teens.
Yeah,
no
but
comment.
If you're going to cast sleep,
I'm gonna
just
cast sleep.
specify its location for me, please.
Okay, it's gonna be that square here, I think. 20 foot, 20 foot, 20 foot, 20 foot, 20 foot. Will affect Posey, unfortunately. Unless I aim it here. Yeah, there we go.
You can hit the wall with it,
Yeah,
if you want
there
to.
we go, it's
And
20
it
foot.
will only hit. Yeah, it will hit everything aside from Posey and the adult.
Because sleep prioritizes in order of lowest health.
Yes, it does.
Which in this context, I think would be me.
Wait,
But
how
Wittick
long?
is immune to being put to sleep, as is King, because King's stat block is different, and Wittick is a...
Warforged.
Posey
As-
isn't immune? I would have
Posey's
thought
not
you
in
were.
range. I'm
where's that in
putting it
range?
down
Oh,
here.
yeah.
I'm putting
You're
it
just
down
out of
here.
range, don't worry.
So we'll be ranging other people, but so long as we're there above 12. Okay. This.
I honestly think everyone will be fine.
So warlock. So 3rd level.
Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah.
Well, maybe you won't be fine.
It's 32 hit points of sleep.
Okay.
Not a
I
great
get to
roll, to be
specify
honest.
what first goes next. Yeah, that was not a good
That was
roll.
not a great roll at 3rd level. Thanks, game.
So, let's see. That is 32 creatures worth of health. So that is 19, 18, or 9, 18, 27, 27, 3. You can affect 3 creatures with that, if I'm correct. Yeah.
Mhm.
So let's just say, you can't specify who starts at it.
It's in order
So,
of health, so whoever
Yeah.
has the lowest health, which I assume is all of them are equal. And
Does anyone have lower health than 9?
Nope, not me.
Nope.
Good.
Yeah.
Because that's important. And thankfully, the mermaid has 11 health.
Oh god.
I was looking at that like, if this rolls well enough, that will go next as well. So we'll say those 3 just there next to you, Wittick, just all starts falling. They all have nap time.
I am going to fly up, and I'm going to try tanking a hit. Hopefully this doesn't
You will
backfire.
take 3 hits.
All 3.
There's only 3 in range of her right now, so
Well, I'm going to go...
see.
It'll be... Where am I? Hang on, let me think where I'm going to go. No, I'll stay. Well, oh god. Decisions.
Stay where you are.
I'll stay where I am.
Wait, is that the actual size of them?
Yeah, these ones are small.
Okay, that's a lot less terrifying.
Yeah.
Yo, Mama Bear up there is the size of a damn horse.
Yeah, that's understandable. But these ones were, oh good, they're medium fucking creatures. Oh god.
I'll stay where I am. In my turn.
Okay, no attacks of opportunity. King, you're up.
All right. I'm gonna have to try and clear a path by doing one of the people straight in front of me.
I mean,
Not clear a path. Clear a path for my friend. So it would be still.
Well, oh, miss anyway. Does they have 16?
16 just hit.
No, 15.
He rolled a 15.
Well, it was 15.
Yeah, roll a
so-
15, so miss.
What are you aiming at?
There's
That
something
one?
weird going on with mine.
Yeah, one of the
That
ones
one.
there that would be a miss, unfortunately. You do not have advantage. That is a miss. It just hits off of this like chitinous hide on its back plating, and that is your action. Do you have a bonus or a movement?
I cast Expeditious Retreat on myself
Good call.
in case I need to move in a hurry.
Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Right.
You've got movement as well.
That's
and it'll
your
let
turn.
you, it'll let you
I
dash now
do.
as well.
Something's going very weird with my. Like when I try to move my token, my whole screen moves instead.
All right.
Oh,
So, do you want to move
Mine did that the other day. I can't remember how to
This?
fix it.
and this? Is that what you want to do? Because you can.
you can dash as part of your bonus action casting
Yes.
as well.
So you can do. 60 foot-
Yeah, I might.
Yeah, you can
got-
get
you've
to.
got
Yeah,
60.
if you want to get to there, I can move you.
There,
There you go.
rather.
Gotcha. Yeah, man.
Wait,
That
how
one,
did you
up-
do
up
that?
and
That's
left,
the best
that.
question.
It is now for the adult Kruthik's turn. It is going to continue to dash away from you guys, which the only place it knows how is to go 90 foot this way. Just all on the ceiling.
Good. Fuck off.
Ollie, we will
Let
worry
me
about
just-
that later.
I'll just reload and roll 20 because it's giving me.
That's its turn to run away. Runara, there are 2 engaged in melee with you and Kika and friends and.
So I'm just reading Distant Whispers. Did it continue to do it, or is it just on that one turn?
I think it's only on that one turn. Doesn't have a fear.
It doesn't have a
Yeah.
concentration.
I was seeing if it had like a save at the end of a turn, but It doesn't, so I don't know.
So it would be safe to say that it really should have gone back.
Should have.
That would be as far as it can really get. No, it would have. I'd say there have been somewhere up here on the ceiling.
Okay.
So I have to go back to its turn then. We'll retroactive that.
Yeah.
Because one turn of making it run away is great. And we're going to attempt to run right. So 20 foot onto that ledge, and it's got this much movement. It can just get in melee. And it's actually going to make its way. I know this is going to look a bit janky, but it's going to make its way to this side. And it's on the wall above you guys, and it's going to aim at the thing that made its brain hurt. So, Lo, it's coming for you.
Okay.
And it's going to attempt to make 2 stabbies. First stab is a 13.
Just hits my AC.
You take 7 points of the piercing damage.
So there was a second one?
Yes, but I'm just hitting you with the first one first in case you go nap nap. Second stab is an 11, so I imagine that misses you.
Nope. Hellish Rebuke.
Nice.
For the first attack. Yeah, so, yeah, Hellish Rebuke away. Woof. Woof. Ooh, this will hurt it. That was a 22 total, so it succeeds, but it will still take 11 points of... Oh, it did not like that. Lo, you just, Posey and Runara, you're the closest. You just watch as Lo takes one hit from this thing, grips onto the side of the pincer that's attempting to strike it to the second time, and for a moment his tongue just splits at the tips, and just a flame erupts out of his finger back at it. And manages to hit it a bit in the chest as this gout of flame is erupting. It pulls down a little so that most of the end of the flame passes by him. But the adult Krutrik just got a nasty burn. Nasty, nasty, nasty burn. It did not like you. Oof. But that's its turn, and now it's Runara's.
I'm gonna hold my holy symbol up and do a channel divinity. It is.
Oh, fuck! I remembered your channel divinity.
Everything within 30 foot of me makes a con save.
Of your choice.
Each hostile creature, it says.
Yes, that's the key point.
Con save.
So, con save on 30 foot.
30
so
foot. I don't think it will hit the ones down there, just the ones on the bridge.
These ones. So that is 5 con checks. For the adult first. Ooh, no.
So it's DC 15?
Yeah, no, that was a 10. So the adult fails. And... Fuck me.
Oh, it's for 21 damage. If they fail, they'll die anyway, so...
Kay! They all die! How do you want to do that? Fuck me!
My God.
Fucking
Wait, what type
clerics,
of
man.
damage?
Thank you.
Is it radiant or
Hold on, I need.
Only the ones that are on the bridge.
radiant damage?
All of them are in range, and they all...
What is it Joe Cat says? DMs have to throw 6 black dragons at a single encounter just to make it fair.
Just the bright light will just shine out from my holy symbol and just flash, like blinding everyone for like half a second, and then when they get their sight back, it's just burned corpses of the insect
You
creatures.
can just see the light, like, from your own mouth and from, like, where your eyes are just over-encapsulated as the symbol comes out, and you can feel that heat again from the core of your being, but it has a focal point now, and it goes through the arm, and you can feel the heat just, like, burning, like, portions of the hair of your skin as you just aim it outward, and the radiant heat just erupts. And when the light dims in that zone, Serenus, Wittek, you and King as well, you can just see like a beacon. Posey and Lo, you have that moment of just collection, and there is just Renara standing amidst piles of ashes.
Posey just
That's-
starts jumping up and down like, that was so cool!
Oh my god, she's so damn cool!
I'm imagining I'm being like the fucking meme, just.
It's bonus action. I'll healing word on on Wittick. Sorry,
Nice!
Thank you.
I was trying to think of the name.
What is the range on Healing Word?
Oh, it's enough.
Is it 60 foot?
60 foot,
I mean,
yeah.
it's okay.
Perfect. Just wanted to check if it was 60 or 30.
That's 7.
Heal
Hit
for
points.
7!
Oh, thank
Then
God.
gonna move.
This encounter got a lot easier.
Yeah.
Three of them are asleep.
Wait, do
One
we
of
want
them.
to run now?
Yeah. I think you
Yeah,
can
we-
now.
we're- Yeah, we're running.
And I'm gonna 30 foot to there.
Okay.
Uh,
Lo. You're pitching a tent. What do you do?
I am going to follow Runara.
You're very quiet again.
Screw this mic. Okay. I am going to follow Runara.
Okay, you follow Runara. You can get ahead of Runara if you'd like.
I have 30 speed, so
You can pass through an ally without issue. Provided you don't end your turn in the ally space, I'm usually fine. Fucking clerics!
and
I would
Just
not
leave
get
them,
any
they're
of this.
asleep. Just leave them.
Yeah.
Just get the live one.
yeah, that was what I was checking is whether I was in range for
You could-
something. But
You could definitely hit an Eldritch Blast if you want.
Do you know what? Because
Eldritch
it's free.
Blade.
Because it's free.
And just 2 beams. It's 2 beams and it's 1.
yeah,
Fire away, fire away. That's a hit. Holy shit. That's a miss. Just roll your damage.
So
You
that's-
do void damage. Roll a d10, and I
Wow.
believe you have agonizing blast. Do you?
Yeah, yeah.
So d10 add your charisma modifier of 4, so d10 plus. Fuck you anyway. The horse you rode in on.
Perfect.
Exactly.
It's exactly lethal.
Exactly
Okay.
legal.
So yeah, there you go, Lo. Love you, honey, but also fuck your character. Okay.
I'm sorry. You
I'm sorry I'm so
Trying to
amazing.
apologize.
I'm sorry I'm so amazing. It's like, yes, I can finally make them run away from an encounter.
I mean, we're still technically be running. 'cause-
Wait, well, hold on. Do we hear any more clattering, or is it just these?
You can make a perception check
Don't
on your turn.
bloody
You can make a perception check on your turn.
Yeah,
Nobody
that's fine.
has
Yeah, of
made a
course.
choice to do so yet.
No, he's all just like, well, if we've killed them, let's keep going, and the warlocks are all here
Hey.
like, no!
Hey, don't poke the hornet's nest like you tend to do.
I mean,
okay?
in a sense of if this is all of them, we've killed them. Why are we running?
Warlocks be here like, spell slots, please!
Well, yo, I've only got 1 spell slot left as well, so
Why are we running? Because if we run into anything else, we'll die.
yeah, at this point, we
This
are...
isn't running, it's a tactical retreat because they're dead.
Serenus.
I mean, I was gonna do something to that one, but it seems I don't have to anymore. So I'm just
Sorry.
gonna dash out of here.
You just bolt. So 60 foot of movement.
Yeah, about there.
That's all you can do. Wittick.
I'm going to ask our mer friend. Are you able to be out of the water, or do you need to be in?
She looks at you, looks at the things, and I'm going to say that temporarily, unless you attack them, you're out of combat. She looks to them, looks to you, and just clambers on the rock.
Oh,
just
jeez.
like,
Well, no.
Okay.
The reason I asked is I'm going to make a harness so I can carry you on my back.
I think we've
She-
got time to make a harness.
she looks more terrified than anything else, but seems
I
to
mean-
be just like, it's more one of those things of, hmm? It's like, I don't know.
I mean, you're pretty strong and large. Can you
I
carry her?
I look at. I
Well,
look,
it's more because when we get to the ladder, I'm going to have to be able to carry her and go up a ladder.
True.
we'll work on that when we get to the ladder. For now,
well,
just Princess
just run.
carry.
Yeah, I'll pick her up out of the water. Okay, let's go.
Though I would say, because it just reminded me, because you have an internal like storage thing for storing liquids, don't you?
That's only a mean thing we did. It's not an actual
Damn.
mechanical thing.
Yeah, that was not.
That was more of a joke.
Are we all beating a hasty retreat?
I think so.
Thank you, Nemo. Thank you. Because I don't mind it drawing out time.
As part of the retreat, I would like to make a perception check. Just to hear,
Sure.
do I hear more
Make a
coming?
perception check.
Guidance. Right, I don't need guidance. It's fine.
You just you sit to the back of the party for a moment and you just focus.
I run.
Run.
I'm going. I'm going.
Run.
And you
I
all
will
begin
just-
running, and sleep lasts for a minute.
Run away.
Believe so.
And I just checked. So you guys
We can
keep
get pretty
running.
far in a minute.
And
That's
I'm aware, and you keep running, and you keep running, and you keep running. And I'm going to say, does anyone do anything to try and slow or make a bit of a blockade? Like anything you want to throw back or anything you want to do?
I have an idea.
I mean, if they get within sight, I will wait and I'll hold the burning hands until they're in melee,
Well,
and I'll burning hands all three of them.
What I was going to do is I was going to wait for the entire
see them.
party to be clear and ahead of me, turn around and cast Mage Hand, which let me double check the range on it before I do this. 30-foot range, so maximum range of 30 feet. And I'm just going to have my Mage Hand just go pink on the flame room that I noticed.
Oh.
So you wait at the back, and you can begin hearing, because this was a good ways up, was this rune. And you begin waiting, you begin hearing a lot. Begin just more than just those three. Those three eventually woke up and joined in. But the first group, you can maybe see a group of 10 just stumbling around a corner like a bunch of aliens just coming up. You pop that rune, and as you do, it is literally like a frag grenade. They scatter. Bits go everywhere. And
Yeah, they won't be eager to do that again.
and you can probably hear there's like a moment of where you move and they don't seem keen to immediately follow. But a few minutes later, you begin hearing again where they begin getting their bravery and you're close to.
I'll be hanging at the back because I can actually move faster than everyone else, but I'll be hanging at the back, and if I see any of them come towards us, I'll start chucking out Frostbolt.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like using a pistol to stop a swarm of ants, in that you drop one or two, but where you drop one, something else just immediately clambers over the body.
Are they all little
Yeah,
ones?
it's more of a
Like,
point of discouragement.
There's a lot of little ones, yes.
I'll wait at the bottom of the ladder. Are we at the ladder now? Or
You get to about the end of the ladder there.
I'll wait. I'll make sure I'm last one up. If they get within range, I'll just let out a burning hands.
Okay.
Within 15.
Roll
foot
out your
plus.
burning hands damage, because that could be him.
I mean, I've got Eldritch Blast for 120-foot range, so just pinging out constant Eldritch Blasts as well.
Not quite enough.
I think you should be just continuing to dash with the rest of them. I don't think you should
I
be
have 50 feet
until you
of
get to the
flight.
ladder. Never mind.
The burning hand is at the ladder, pretty much. So I'll be at
One
the bottom
thing-
of the ladder as you're climbing up.
One thing
So-
I was. Never
Go
mind.
on.
Don't
Go
worry.
on.
Don't worry.
No, go
It's
on.
good. What I was going to say was, when the swarm gets within 10 foot of me, I could use my Fey presence to scare them off.
That you could do. Which they will get within that as you go, and there's a moment where you guys all begin running, and there's like a moment where you're all like swapping between trying to slow them down using different things. There's a moment where you're close to it. Runara, you're preparing out this burning hands, like you're going to let that fire roar, and as you do, Lo just steps in front of you and just begins pulling out, like, you ever remember the Cruella de Vil pipe? Like just that long cigarette holder, more or less, with a long point.
I know
Takes
the
it
kind.
out and just begins. And as he does, this like blue mist just erupts out of his mouth, more than anything he inhaled. There was no smoke or nothing to the end of this. And there's a moment where around him and around all of you, there is just, it's like as if every feature of him got exaggerated. The horns do appear to you, and they extend out, but more into the way of a Jotun than anything else in regards to like the form being a parody of what you're familiar with. And the eyes almost like have this insectoid kind of like mesh over them all, and this almost pseudo like kind of webbed or feathered kind of design underneath the arms, as it just lets out a just like this, almost like it's attempted. It's like it was basically as if it's a character parodying music briefly, but as you're all like getting that smoke hitting you, what was a screech turns into almost a lull. But for these creatures, they just begin covering their ears, and there's literally just a barrier. As Lo and Runar, you are the last two up. The mermaid literally clamber, just pulling themselves up by just grabbing the next one up, next one up, shoving themselves up and onto the ground. You all bolt, slam the thing behind you as you can already begin hearing the metal scraping against the top. And you just put your weight, like Wittick just stands on the lid and they just can't get up. And after several attempts to bump it up, they retract away.
Oh, fuck.
Gonna say this, can't believe we're alive. Okay.
I can't believe you're alive. You waited way too long.
Right, we're all here. We're all
Give it
here. We're all here. Right.
So,
No lost feathers.
Let's take our friend. Let's take our friend to the ocean, and
Persuasion
then
check.
seek the assistance of the guard. In fact, ideally, we would do both at the same time.
Okay. So it doesn't
No.
take long.
I'll lift her back up.
Yeah, you basically like are more or less carrying her princess style, bridal style,
Yeah.
as you go. And let's see, where was that little track I had? Where did I leave it? Give me that track. Give me the good music. It's not the aesthetic. Where's it gone? I lost it. You make your way towards the dockside, more or less, more towards the coast. As you guys do so, you immediately draw attention. Willing or otherwise, guards begin approaching you. And immediately they begin to ask, what on earth's happening here? What are you doing? What is that?
There
This
are
is a
large
merfolk that we got from the sewer. Also, you have a very bad bug infection down there. Goodbye. And I continue walking off towards the ocean.
I will address exactly what happened down there. Although I believe my maid should have already arrived at the surface and started on that report.
This particular guard does not seem to have gotten that message.
That's all right. I was just saying that
No, it's
that's
okay.
starting to
They
be
did-
recorded, but
they did make
I
their effort.
will report.
Make a persuasion check just as you're talking to explain out. So this is what occurred, because let's be honest,
Guidance.
probably gonna. Okay. Persuasion check from the king. Nice. Roll a d4 on that as well. Very much so, like that. Also, you posted that in Oakheart Rebellion, honey.
Oops.
Wrong one. So, 18. You begin talking, and the guard is just slack-jawed as you're discussing this and explaining out everything to him. But looking about all of you and the fact that you're so tattered, for lack of a better term, and when you refer to particular things that attacked you, you show off the wounds that you had, or you show off the scarring and the new fresh wounds that you all have. And the guard's like, we need to take you to the Baron immediately.
Well, we're going to
I
the
agree.
ocean first. So,
But
Okay.
yes, the ocean on the way.
Yeah.
The Baron's The Baron's house is close to the dock side, but I imagine he'll want to speak to you all and to the thing.
They're a
Perfect.
person! Don't be rude.
And they're
They are
very
indeed
much
humanoid and sentient.
And they're very much in need of our help right now. I don't.
I stepped on a few nerves. Well, I apologize, I suppose.
Look,
Good.
We are going to escort you, no matter what.
That's
Yes,
fine.
Yeah, you do what you
I submit
Whatever.
myself to your custody in the time being.
Oh, why did they have to use those words? Ugh, I hate those words. That makes paperwork. Paperwork is a I like shouting at kids.
The battle has consummated.
Stop saying that!
It's just so fucking weird that that's what the fucking end was. Fucking A. Alright,
Have you ever seen those memes of like 6 or 7 people walking in like tandem, all snapping their fingers as they're walking? That's all I'm picturing. Just
well, of course, Lowell.
what is this, West Side Story?
Yep.
well, you're on the west side of Faerun, so
Yeah.
It's basically that Billie Jean video.
King, meanwhile, is like, really, I love paperwork.
Ugh.
Imagine the first chance we get for a body of water, we'll get the merfolk
dump
into
her
the
in.
water.
Yeah.
Yeet. Well, you pass over a bridge, but there are a lot of rough rucks. Ruggy.
Ruffruck's the Pokemon.
There's a lot of
Around
rough
the
rucks
rugged
here.
rocks, the ragged rascal ran.
Shut up, Lo. So you could either dump her in there.
We'll go to where it's safe. Not gonna dump her onto a cliff.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, neither side is really a
Just
cliff.
rock.
Like the most is to where Posy's icon is right now. That's maybe a 10-foot dive.
we'll go. Is there like docks that we can like drop off a dock?
Yes, that's on the.
Yeah, then we'll go there. So
You
we're
make your way
not
over.
on
Yeah,
the rock,
that-
dropping it into some deep water already straight
Say
away.
this is the this is where the actual Baron is. As you guys are passing that place to make your way to the dock side, the maids are there talking to the Baron.
Huh.
Because apparently they made a big enough case that it just went straight to him. And they're discussing as you guys all approach. Like you have to even as he like begins stepping out. He has 2 bodyguards with him, which are just essentially just 2 very. Got it. 2 burly guards are with them. They have a breastplate on each, and they both have a sword and shield over the back. One is a fellow with like short blonde hair. That's his ears are a little bit pointed, and the other one is a slimmer man with very, 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 very almost to white, but just got enough color in it to be blonde hair that goes down maybe to about his shoulder. And he is
King will proceed to update the Baron on the more of
Yes.
the situation regarding the friendly. She does not word it that way. That is just me being.
That is you being Australian.
Yeah.
So
Ah, yes, look at this little interesting bug. It's great! Could kill you with 1 bite. But, yeah, it's great.
I'm gonna poke it.
I'm gonna poke it with a stick.
I'll wrestle with it.
Look at this. We call it the camel spider.
Ugh, don't Google that. Don't Google
It's
that.
not.
Don't Google that.
Really don't
Yeah.
Google that.
Take your own
Yeah,
side.
seriously, don't.
Yeah.
If you get any sort of phobia, do not.
Mm.
So, you guys begin walking, and the Baron just like motions towards it. Well, suppose. Is there anything we can provide on that side? Because I don't want to have any issue with any sea folk because of our trading with the seas and our use of those naval and water passes. Last thing I want is to see this as a slight. And the merfolk barely understands him. You guys can barely understand him. Like, it's just kind of looking up at Wittick like, help.
Wittick, if you could translate.
I'll try to translate as best as I can.
Actually, if you have dealings with the Waterfolk, do you not have an in-house translator?
Don't deal with the merc, but we pass through those ways and we leave their people be for obvious reasons.
Very well, then Wittick will have to do.
Wittick, you more or less begin translating as all they do is just like as this is talking, like the merfolk just points out to the sea and goes, home.
Yes. You just want to go home. I understand.
Home, please. And they have like that kind of like, whilst you are a metallic form that can't really feel pressure all that much from a grip, their hand is just like clung on to you more or less right now. And since you came up, they have been just clung to you.
Baron, if I may recommend, she has trouble with understanding our language. I think the best thing you could do politically would be to send her off with a large amount of food for one person. She is quite malnourished, and I'm sure if you hand it over personally, she will at least be able to portray that you are a good person.
He's watching, he just elbows one of the big guys behind him because he's a broader man, but these guys are about 6'4", and one of 6'4", and the blonde one is 6'7", and just points. Go down to the side and just get something off one of the shipmen. I don't care what. Just get them some fish. And he nods and leaves. As probably takes him about 5 minutes to come back with just a more or less bag of fish. You get them towards the side of the water, and as you do, it's like that thing of where a dog will just like cling out to you and just like try to cling out to something to pull themselves to it. And as you like begin loosening your grip, they just dive into the water. But they dive in at a side where the pier is very close to the water level. And they just dive in, and there's that moment of, are they coming back? And they just dive, like they just spring out of the water and just spin in the air before diving back down, for pulling themselves to the side of the water, looking towards all of you.
I will hand her the fish out of the bag.
Baron will do that because it's a political gesture.
The Baron.
I will mission.
The Baron has that moment of, oh, I have to do this, and has the fish into a bundle and just like tied up at a noose at the top, but there's enough hole at the side where you could reach in to take one out, but it's just to keep most of them contained. And they just reach down, and they just immediately cut just a portion of a fish just cut and gutted just in the mouth. Just immediately just taking it in, tail and all gone, and just taking the bag and just like hand over, thank, and looks towards you, particularly Wittick. Thank. Points to themselves.
Very well.
Kelani.
Oh, it was a pleasure meeting you.
Remember, friends. And you watch as she just like dives, and you just begin hearing something. And if not for the fact that she's not attempting to, you will begin hearing a siren's call. But there is no negative effect to it because she's not intending.
Yeah.
And after a while, she pulls herself back up, but stays near the dock, as you guys are there as well. And you begin seeing, after maybe an hour, you just begin seeing things moving in the water towards her. And you then see sharks. But on the side of the sharks, riding them, are other merfolk. Like the equivalent of how do I say this right? You know the Tibetan Mastiff? It's the equivalent of, this is the hunter and this is their dog. But it's the biggest fucking dog you can get.
Sea puppies!
They're hunter sharks.
Sea puppies!
Sea puppies. And they make their way. One of them actually just begins like pulling themselves out of the water, and there's just a torrent of water that's actually like lifting them aloft out of it. And they have They're definitely not. Give you an idea. This isn't the king. Basically, I'm just saying that right now. But they have this well crafted kind of pearl necklace around their neck, and they have this kind of scale, like literally armor made of just this beautifully reflective scale that has this kind of prismatic color to it, where depending on how you look at it, the color shifts all the way down, and even covering the tail of it as well. Very loose though, like it's not restrictive armor. They do have a long spear. It's almost like a glaive in its length, but it's a glaive with a blade to either end. And they just look towards all of you. Who brought her? Speaking perfect common.
Thank God. Sorry to say, but fucking translating was starting to get a bit.
Wittick here is the one who retrieved her, and the Baron is the one who, with his good blessings, ensured her good health.
But mainly with it.
Make a persuasion check.
Me or
Get advantage because.
your connection to server's been interrupted. Could you roll it for?
Oh great.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Give me a sec. I can roll it for you.
Thank you.
We have got. Oh no, never mind.
Yes. You want to use the in-house roll? Oh no, we don't because it's on.
Well, you can use it in the chat. There's a dice rolling bot in the chat if you want to roll the dice yourself. But obviously you don't know what your modifier is.
Persuasion. That was an 11. As you're talking and explaining this out, just like raises a hand for you to. And just is looking Wittick over more. Particularly the fact that you have a lot of unique symbols to certain deities on you.
Yes.
Yeah. Hecaton. Pointing towards like some of the symbols you have on you.
That's who my master serves, yes.
Good friend to us. You have done us service as well today. It will not be forgotten, Wittick.
I'm sorry for the way she has been treated by foul humans here. Not the Baron in particular, but a group that seems to...
Spear is pointed out towards the Baron.
Who?
Underneath the chin. You will find the men responsible. Throw their guts to the sea. And all will be well. If you trust these heroes to do it, so be it. But it will be done under your charge. It was under your city. She was taken. This will be remembered. And the spear gets pulled away, and there's that moment of, whew. Because both the guards were not yet reached for a weapon by the time that spear had gotten to his neck. And it's like, oh, return here, Wittick Reforged, within a lunar cycle. This time again, the moon moves. We will be here. I will have something for you.
Okay. I will be here.
I'm sorry, but getting that face of a paladin is always just...
Goodies.
Give me all the shinies!
Give.
It looks towards all of you. For now, a smaller gift. And he has on his side, and he just like unfastens from like a side of the basically where the fish meets the man. and takes a bag of pearls and hands them to you.
Oh.
There are 10 pearls in there. Each one is worth 50 gold.
Goddamn.
Hot damn.
Thank you so much. And I bow to him.
He does a slight head nod. How may I know all of you? I wish for names.
Oh, don't put us on the
Only
spot
with-
like this, man.
No, not for that. Your own names. Wittig I only know. She sang of him. Who else?
Fuck.
Wittig's got a fan.
Pleasure to
Duh.
acquaintance. My name
Fucking-
is King.
Which king?
That is my name. Hopefully, further future profession.
Oh,
but
you are a silly human. I understand.
Yes, she is.
my,
Oh, silly-
my
silly
ears,
elf.
my ears twitch.
Eh.
Most of you is melted off, in fairness.
Oh, I'm in my Drudaic look, so
Yeah, you still look a bit gaunt.
Yeah.
I would. I'm mostly wood.
You would. Fleetwood would, Fleetwood.
Oh dear.
I'll tip my head slightly. Serenus.
Touch of forest.
I'm Runara.
Hearthchild.
Kika?
Starchild.
Give a little curtsy. Posy.
Moonchild.
Lo will awkwardly bow and say, they know me as loyalty.
Trustworthy. We shall hope to see you again one day. Farewell. And he dives into the water. And the others follow him. With just a soft little song hanging in the air as all these people you helped begin leaving. We will speak about your interaction with the Baron next session.
Oh yay.
Hell yeah.
Yay!
Yay! Feels good to help people. Wittig's got a Nemira.
Das, just so I know, what is the current moon of today then? Like of the current one?
The moon is currently like it was at full moon
Very
when
slim,
the
right?
yeah.
Oh, no.
Would it be very slim by
I'm trying
now?
to remember.
I think it's only starting to slim. I no. Let's see. The full moon happened when the town got attacked. I think it'd be about half moon right now, if I'm remembering right.
Is the moon cycle still 28 days, roughly?
Yeah.
Then 28 days
It's
from now.
the Faerun calendar.
28 days
mirrors our
later.
own.
28 days later.
Coronavirus, 28 days later.
New toy.
Too soon.
Head off if there's nothing else.
Cool. That was a good session. We actually survived.
I was like, are they going to leave? 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 Oh no.
Yeah.
This is why the king shouldn't take votes.
So, presume that's it.
Very well, guys.
We'll see you next week.
Take care,
then.
buddy.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
it's all
Bye.
right. Farewell, everyone.
Bye.